I, yeah, just completely different. I am coming. Let me start. Hi, everybody. This is the Oracle of Dreams. Welcome to my Twitch stream, YouTube stream. When you see it in the aftermath, but you'll hear my boyfriend Input over on Input's toys and gaming review. I forgot his full stream name, but on YouTube. But I decided to go ahead and do a live stream today because I had a really great day. My great day really was a random day today, and I hope I did not splurge a ton of money on my little hobbies. So reason for this. So today of all days, my boyfriend Input and I decided to have an adventure, and we get into these things. Input and I just want to go out, have fun, and it was a beautiful day today. You know, where I'm at, it was literally between 60 70 degrees, no humidity, nice and windy. So for where we live, it's it's cool, it's comfortable, the window's open, and there are squirrels chittering out in the backyard right now. And if you hear, and children are playing, so I have the windows open, and if you hear anything going on crazy, well, that's the animals outside. I have my dog Pepper right next to me, and Input's playing Rocket League in the living room. So, and he'll be loud, but anyway, so today we decided to go out and about and just try to see what we could figure out. Sorry, I'm adding a new tag. Just to figure out what we wanted to do today. And then we went and stopped by Half Price Books near our, very close by to where we live. And I found some books, and not just any books. I think I spent close to $150 on books today. And this is something that I've been wanting to collect for a while, and I still had my tax return money just kind of burning a hole in my pocket. So it was meant for my car, and we did get the car stuff done. So car stuff is taken care of, for those who are wondering. But there's the dogs. But when we wanted to have price books, there was some stuff that applied to me. And for, you know, as if you've watched my streams, I play hidden object puzzles, horror games. Apparently, when I say horror, it sounds like another word, so I have to enunciate correctly. But there were some games or not games, there were some books that pertain to a hobby I've had since I was little. And and based on the games that I play, that is the paranormal. I am a very big fan of the paranormal. Do I believe everything in the paranormal exists or anything, or that they occur? I believe that the person has experienced something, but I have yet to experience anything. I just find the stories fascinating. I see it as a modern version of folklore, much like creepypastas and things of that nature. Reddit no sleep, things like that. I really see it as a form of modern folklore, where you would hear about the Snallygaster if you went out in the East Coast, along the East Coast, or the Jersey Devil in New Jersey. This is types of, I really do see a lot of the paranormal as modern folklore. So I really like that stuff. I really like, have I seen a ghost? I don't know. There have been strange things that have occurred to me, have happened to me, but will I go out of the way and say it was spiritual in nature? Probably not. But, I want to experience these things. I want to go legend tripping. I want to go do these things. And my love actually started because of some really weird books. And I am aging myself. I am dating myself actually right now. So when I was younger, my dad, he still does, but my dad has a subscription to National Geographic. And part of the subscriptions, this happened a long time ago, were these hardbound copies of various topics. And you would, depending on the type of books it would pertain to, you got a list of things that you qualified for, and you pick out everything. So Dad would always pick these out. I think there's one more at my parents' house that I need to go get. But my dad would get a list of these books, and he would all he would always ask us, "What would we like?" Well, I was a little spooky child, and I was a chicken, but I liked scary stories. I was scared of the dark. I was scared of ghosts. I was scared of thunder. I was scared of a lot of things, and but I always liked reading these stories. So this is one of the books. Oh, so you don't get the backyard in it. This is one of the books from National Geographic, just to show you. And I love this thing. It's literally really nice hardcover book. Has nice photos and pictures, and it just discusses aliens, and there's nice drawings of various things in here, and it's a really well done book. And it's just the mysteries of the world. And this one was just basically natural mysteries, geographic mysteries of creations that people have created in the world, stuff like that. And I read this like a children's book. This was literally one of my nighttime stories, and I loved reading this. It was my introduction to history. It was my introduction into the ancients. It was my introduction into the stuff that doesn't go right in the world and where does it come from. So that's one of those things. And I really love this book. And there's, like I said, there's a second one at my parents' house that they haven't missed this one, and I'm trying to find time where I can swipe the next one because I love these books. I really do love these books. And I don't know if you can tell, but like right here in this area, right there, that's where I have most of my paranormal books that I've collected over the years. And there's some that I've gotten rid of. There's a box over here of stuff that I don't like and everything like that. But for the most part, this is where I keep it, and it's one full shelf, and that's where we get in today. So today, my boyfriend and I decided that we wanted to go into half price books. And when we walked in, I always take like a tour. Like I go into crafts for the crocheting stuff and look for patterns and books. And then I go into the fiction to see if there's any books in there. I go through romance to see if one of my friends' books is in there. And then I have a friend who writes what was it called? New romance, I think is the genre she calls. Anyway, it's a genre. It's a brand new genre of romance. It's been around since 50 Shades of Grey came around. So anyway, so check out to grab any of her books that I've missed, because I'm really trying not to buy retail when it comes to my books. I want to be a little bit more ethical in my purchasing. So I always want to buy secondhand if at all costs. And for my friend, she knows that. She understands that I'm going, this is my wish. This is my want of how I want to purchase my books. And she understands that. So so I make my way through the romance section and I go to the metaphysical. I haven't been purchasing too many like paranormal books or anything, because it's gotten, with the advent of ghost hunters, ghost adventures, everything like that. It's just a lot of and I'm not saying this to be like crusty or anything like that. This is just me not being interested anymore. This isn't, these are, yes, I acknowledge these people, like Amy Bruni and Zach Baggins, and various others who have shows, who have these uh, larger audience than I will ever have. I acknowledge that they exist and that they're adding to the genre, but for me, it's just not my cup of tea. So I try not to. So it hasn't been as much as I would like to when it comes to the paranormal stuff. So as I'm looking through this, a book catches my eye, and it was this Time Life Mysteries of the Unknown. This caught my eye, and while I was looking at the book, I realized it was next to one of these. Another Time Life book called Library of Curious and Unusual Facts. Okay, that's cool. So I pulled them all out, and I'm making sure that there's no duplicates. And then I start pricing things out, because I'm like, okay, I really want to purchase these, but I'm going to be very frugal in my approach. And then when I was looking, I saw this. And this is another Time Life book, and it's called The Enchanted World. And I nearly peed myself. I'm not going to lie. I was so excited because it's hard. You don't see these. Like when I was originally collecting for my paranormal library, I was not seeing these books at all. but I was not collecting these books at all. So I grabbed the whole stack and I priced it out. It was going to be $120 something, and I purchased them all right then and there. I wanted to include these with this book I've had since I was little. I really wanted to include this. Like, I was the weirdo child that took this book to what's the book you read today, Melinda? Well, it was this. So, um, anyway, and then I wrote like my research into each and every single thing here. So it wasn't like I was trying to slack off or anything. I did additional research that came to these books. And just to let you know, these books aren't going to be aren't going to go into depth. I have books by Brad Steiger, Jeff Belanger, Ogden, Jim Mars. You know, I have these books available to me that I've referenced and read and everything like that. And these books aren't going to go in depth as those guys are. These books are literally coffee table books. And you know how you see those movies with people with the wide open like libraries filled with matching books? That's what they really are. That's for the people to that's for the people to go and have a collection of, and if they're interested they'll pull a book out, or there's a conversation about something about the Loch Ness Monster and you're like, oh, let me pull this book out. This was definitely books pre-internet, pre-cell phone, literally pre-internet. I'm going to be flat out honest with you. This was like pre-internet books that people would have on their shelves, so that way if someone had a question about it they can pull these out real quick, and it's literally an encyclopedia like snapshot of the paranormal books. And what's even better about it is that they especially the later time life ones, the one I'll explain it to you, but for those of children of a certain age, I am dating myself again, but in the early 90s, there would be on Nick at Night, really late into the Nick at Night. When I was a child, I had really bad insomnia, and I would just wake up, like wide awake, not able to do anything. I could not go back to sleep, and I would just go into the living room, turn on the TV, put it on really, really low. This was a tube TV, so if you turned it on, it was loud. And I would watch Nick at Night late at night because there was nothing else. Disney Channel wasn't showing children's stuff. Like, I think Disney Channel turned off at one point in the night, and Nick at Night went on for most of the night. So and I would I would watch it because it was all like Green Acres, Dick Van Dyke, etc. So in the middle of, in the middle of those commercials, you would see like the Time Life CD songs of love, and it would open up with the Michael Bolton's "When a Man Loves a Woman," stuff like that. Like, there would be commercials like that, and there would be, and I'm actually about to give you, and there would be a Time Life commercial of these things. So I'm not gonna play it, but I have it, and I'm gonna link it below for everybody to watch. But there would literally be commercials on this, and at one point the commercials that I remember had Julianne Moore in them. Yes, Julianne Moore from Kingpin, or not Kingpin, I'm sorry, I watched Kingpin the other day, but from The Big Lebowski. Julianne Moore was actually promoting these commercials, much like Sarah McLachlan has been promoting the ASPCA. So that's what these books are to me. These are literally a snapshot of my childhood, and I found them today in a half price books for dirt cheap when you really think about it. So what I'm going to do today is kind of go over each of these books for you and kind of explain the history and stuff like that a little bit. So I got my little notebook here, go Cougs. Of stuff that I made some little notes on and everything like that. Well, I made these notes while I was in half price books because I was really trying to determine which ones I was instead of buying the whole lot, I was going to pick a couple, and then input convinced me to buy the whole set because I had the tax return money. So let me grab a binder clip. All right, there we go. Had to get my binder clips. So I can hold my little notebook open and I'll go over everything. I am not prepared today. So how are you fellow people watching my chat? I'm probably not going to get any videos on this. This is mostly for me to stream to YouTube. So let me do this. Clippity clip. See? All right. So here we go. So the first in this series, they were first published in 1984. That is how old I am. These books are as old as I am. Let me put it this way. We are the same age, these books I'm about to pull out, and they are called Time Life, The Enchanted World. And I have 3 books of these guys. So, so these books were published between 1984 and 1987. These are broad description topic books. And so the ones that I have are dragons. This is the first in the series that you could get. And if you look, that's actual hand-drawn art for this. Oh, this is ghosts. Why did I pull out ghosts? It's sorry. Dragons. So hand-drawn art for this. Pretty cool. And this is like the cloth. I don't know if you can tell. It's like cloth covered, hardbound book. It's cloth covered. And then it has this interesting, like, first leaf, and then you get into the dragon section and the topic, and it's just all hand drawn, all completely hand drawn material. Whoops, this one. I'm getting used to this. So that's what this is. And if you look, and what I like about these is that this was literally a shot in the dark. Like, I'm just making sure that's not. Okay, it's dust. Ugh. Sorry, I get paranoid when I bring a new book in my house. So, and it's all hand-drawn art, really well done. Like, these are literal snapshots of the 80s type books. Like, these remind me of childhood books that I used to have when I was younger, but with Sesame Street instead of dragons. But they're hand-drawn art. It's basically just stories, mythology, how they came about, how we believe came about, how would this have gone, and just literal folklore and actual art, like, actually painted artwork of dragons and everything like that. So this is really cool. And then they also have, like, examples from the ancients when it came to this artwork and everything like that. And here's here's an illustration of the different types of dragons that they discussed and everything like that. So that's pretty cool. And then, it's just stuff like that. And then, but they go all over the concept of dragons in this book. Here's an Asian dragon, or I'm not too sure which. I think this is the Chinese dragon. Please don't kill me. This is the first time opening this book. So, but that's really what it is. It's just a great book discussing the topics of dragons. So I got really excited when I saw this. And these are pretty rare. Like I said, not rare, but you don't see these kinds of books at half-price books unless someone's getting rid of their collection. And for context, I'm a nonprofit professional. I worked at a small nonprofit at my previous job, and that came with a thrift shop below the facility, and that was our primary fundraising. That was our primary fundraiser, was the thrift shop. So we were in the middle of a very ritzy area of the city I live in, and we would get a lot of awesome stuff, like a lot of awesome stuff. You see this picture here? I got that from I got that picture from the nonprofit, and some of the books behind me I got from the nonprofit thrift shop. And there's furniture and a whole bunch of stuff that I purchased from there. We got a lot of nice stuff. And I always kept my eye out for books like this because I wanted these. I wanted to continue my collection. That kind of started with this. But it was kind of hard to find because you literally had to order these books. You had to order these books directly from Time Life. And who's going out of the way to order these books? I mean, these were a hit. Don't get me wrong. These books were a hit. And there was a reason why they created 3 more series of these through Time Life, but um, you don't see these every day. So I had to snag it. So that's the first one was dragons that I got. The next one was ghosts. This is the one I showed you earlier. And ghosts, I mean, just snazzy art. Like, seriously, people, just really snazzy art is in this. Like, hand drawn specifically for the book kind of art. It just goes over a lot of things. Poltergeists, the wife's revenge. Like, these are literal folklore. I mean, look at this. Some Japanese artwork here. Like, so stinking cool. Um, just really nifty things. A meeting to the road home. Like, this is really what this really sounds like. What these books are literal stories of mythology and folklore. And according to, this is the Wikipedia article on it. The Enchanted World was a series of 21 books, 21, or sorry, 21 books, um, 21 books published in the time period of 1984 through 1987. Each book focused on different aspects of mythology, fairy tales, or folklore, and all were released by Time Life Books. Their overall editor was Ellen Phillips, and their primary consultant was Tristram Potter Coffin, a Guggenheim Fellowship Award-winning University of Pennsylvania Professor Emeritus. I work at a college and I can never pronounce that word in English. So these were known for their art and their research used by their respective authors to retell stories and folklore in these books. So I'm going to have fun for the next couple months reading these. And the last one was Legends of Valor. This is pretty cool. I think that's Don Quixote. I don't know. But look, I just want to point out they all come with this nifty dragon, embossed dragon, with the Enchanted World listed all over it, and then you got the Legends of Valor, and this is literally a nice sticker. I mean, this was made in the '80s, and it's still holding up pretty well, attached to a cloth covered book, and like the beginning is even niftier than the other ones, like the introduction page. Let me show you the ghost one real quick. Like, seriously, look at this. Like, the ghost one is nice and haunting, and that's why I picked the background. Whoops. I swear, I used to be a teacher, and I used to be my mom's classroom. I used to be my mother's classroom mom when she taught first and second grade, and I know how to hold a book. I am just not used to holding a book on screen. So, so here's this. But it's just nifty stuff that, like, this was so nifty. This just brought back a lot of nostalgic memories. Legends of Valor, a champion schooling in another world. Look at this. Isn't that cool? Like, this is just so super, super neat. But I had to get these. This was right up my alley. I recently was given the opportunity to work from home, and I got my bookshelf. I have 2 of them, 2 on each side, and I'm going to add another one over here, and then a small one in place of the drawer set that's right there. Or, sorry, just fair warning, I get my directions messed up, and my hands like this. I'll say this one's my left, but it's my right. Wrong. But this one here, I'm going to probably switch out with the same size, small, skinny book, and just kind of have it like an installation of bookshelves in this room, in this office, because this is where I work 2 days out of the week. But I wanted to rebuild my paranormal book collection, but like I said, I have an issue with a lot of not an issue with the people per se, but I do have an issue with the corporatized nature that the paranormal has started becoming. And this is me going, it's not people who are enjoying the subject and pushing books. It's people who have the audience writing the books, and and I feel like that's part of the corporatized nature of it, and we're just getting a smaller snapshot when we should be promoting a lot of the larger people, which is why I still follow Jeff Belanger. He was there from the get-go, and everything from my get-go, from when I started really paying attention to this. So shout out to Jeff Belanger, and listen to his podcast, New England Legends. Anyway, so with that being said, the next But so those finished at the end of 1987, and they were super popular. Like so popular, in fact, that Time Life decided to do a next series. Oh, before I start, so I showed you those three books, but there's 20, like I said, 21 books in the 21 books, 21 volumes in the collection. And some of those are wizards and witches, fairies and elves, night creatures, water spirits, magical beasts, dwarfs, spells and bindings, giants and ogres, seekers and saviors, fabled lands, book of Christmas, fall of Camelot, magical justice, lore of love, book beginnings, tales of terror, secret arts, gods and goddesses. So just to give you an idea of the type of books these were about. So these were primarily story based on folklore books. That's awesome. I was really excited to get this. But because of how popular, actually, I'm not going to put them near you, Pepper, because I'm afraid you're going to stop all of them. But because of how popular those books were, if we got to have just a second stack. We got to the next set of books, which are Mysteries of the Unknown, Mysteries of the Unknown. So this is the next set of book in the Time Life Paranormal book series, and these were also at Half Price Books. And just a little bit of forewarning, we found another Half Price Books on our little adventure today. That is new. It's a brand new Half Price Books, and they had more books, so I ended up spending more at this Half Price Books to kind of fill it out. So I have 11 of these Mysteries of the Unknown books. Um, yes, I ended up buying 11 of these. These is a series of books about the paranormal published by Time. Excuse me. Also, if you see me itching, I am actually very allergic to dust and dust mites. And these things are still dusty. I wipe them down. I hand sanitize. I put allergy medicine on my hands, and I took an allergy tablet, and I'm still very itchy. So I'm sorry if I start turning blotchy red throughout the day, throughout the stream. But stay hydrated. But these are a series of books about the paranormal published by Time Life Books from 1987 through 1991. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. Each book focused on a different topic, such as ghosts, UFOs, psychic powers, and dreams. The idea for the series was conceived following the popularity of the publisher's previous Enchanted World book series. Mysteries of the Unknown series used scientific aspects for credibility of its theories. The books broke the sales record for the company. Okay, so we're getting more into what I remember these Time Life books were. Time Life published a companion series, The Collector's Library of the Unknown, which is what I have, from 1991 through 1993. Okay, so here are these books. These were published from 1987, when my brother was born, through 1991, which was after my sister was born. So these books are literally me and my siblings' ages. Like, just fair warning. Like, I am really dating myself here. But beside that, this is what I remember. These are the commercials I would see so late at night on Nick at Night, hosted by Julianne Moore and everything like that. Like these books, these were the ones that I remember, and I would be fascinated by them. I loved ghost stories. I was a terrified little child of ghosts. If you told me there was a ghost in the house, I would not sleep. I would be terrified. But I loved reading ghost stories. I was terrified of thunderstorms and tornadoes and hurricanes, and I live in Hurricane Central. And I would be terrified of them coming. Like, I'm still kind of afraid of thunderstorms, hurricanes, and tornadoes. Like, I have yet to be in a tornado. I'd rather not. I'd rather not be in an earthquake either. So just let's go from there. But anyway, a little too much information dump. But I love these books. Like I loved seeing these. And honestly, when you saw those like correspondence school commercials, I would always wanted to be a paralegal because I thought it meant paranormal researcher. So woohoo. But I really loved everything ghosty. And that was just something that I was little. I hated scary movies. They scared me to death. I did not like them. I did end up growing out of them, but I just really liked spooky stuff. And I don't know if that was like my cousin's influence because they were significantly older than me. And by significantly, my like 4 or 5 years older than me. And they were at an age where they were getting into it. So I got into it. I really don't know, but I really like, but based on my nephew who is 4, he's been asking me about creepy stories because my brother had told him that I know scary stories. And out of nowhere, he was just really interested. And I was talking to him as best as I could. And I asked, are your friends into scary stuff? And he was like, no, I liked it because of Halloween. So he really got into creepy stuff because of Halloween. And I guess that was my thing too. I loved Halloween, where I used to live before I moved out here in this area. The streets would be filled with people trick or treating. So not so much now, but back in the early 90s, there was a lot of people, and I would see my classmates, everything trick or treating. Anyway, off topic. So these are the books that I have. We're just going to open one. Okay, I'm not going to go through all 11 books. There were 33 volumes in this series. 33 volumes. I have 11. I still need 22 more to go for this series. But these were a little bit more snapshotty of the paranormal. Like this is Mystic Places. So you see the Sphinx. You see the Sphinx on the background with pyramid and the all-seeing eye. So you're seeing a lot of mystic symbolism and everything like that in these books. But I'm trying to see what the next one is. And anyway, but I'll read the list and I'll go over which ones I have. So, but these books are just set up like every other thing. Here's the intro leaf, Mystic Places. The contents, and here's the introduction chapter with hand-drawn material. Like a lot of these were original material to, if it weren't sourced by historic items, by historic artwork, they were they were hand drawn specifically for these series. So I thought that was pretty cool. So this one is about Atlantis. So here's this thing. Plato's Atlantis, based on the descriptions of Atlantis by Plato. And that's why I'm itchy. Mosquito. That's why I'm so itchy. It's probably time to close the windows. But there's that, and then so here's some of the topics in Mystic Places. Let me go over that real quick. So we have Atlantis, Secrets of the Great Pyramid, the meaning of the megaliths, pictures of the Earth, and an interior world. And that's, for those who don't know, the interior world is basically like angels, like we're the inside of a bigger world, or there's an world inside us, inside the earth in the core, and there's a lot of places to explore. But yeah, it's literal essays written for the book, and it's the research that they could find based on source material as primary as they could get, suggestions through the ancients and texts about these places, as first person, like in the case of psychic powers, UFO phenomena, stuff like that. Try to get first person examples, and these aren't going to be extreme detail. These are going to be literal, like an essay you wrote for school type, a couple pages worth of information for you to disseminate and for you to make your conclusions, but leave a broader open-ended idea. So this isn't anything fancy. This isn't anything conclusive. But if you want, down here, there's a book called Ghost by Brad Steiger that's a little bit more concrete information about various hauntings and ghosts and stuff like that you can read. And again, I'm not saying these exist. When I was little, I was absolutely convinced that everything was real. And that's why I was afraid. I was terrified. It also doesn't help that when you grow up and watching Unsolved Mysteries and finding out just up the street on 45 to the east there was a UFO encounter. So it's a lot of, and we're going to get to that actually. We're going to get to some of this stuff. So I got these. So in the series, there are 33 volumes in all, and the titles are Mystic Places. I have that. Psychic Powers. I have that. Hold on. What are you doing? Oh my God. Our Chihuahua, who is old and blind. My window faces the backyard, and my Chihuahua, who's old and blind, wants to be extremely independent. And we have the windows in the back patio door open. And she decided she was going to take a little walk into the backyard. And my boyfriend was just right in the window, like, "What are you doing?" So anyway, he was holding up the Chihuahua, and he's holding her little tail just wagging in the wind. Anyway, so mystic places, psychic powers, UFO phenomena, psychic voyages, phantom encounters, visions and prophecies, mysterious creatures, mind over matter, cosmic connections, spirit summoning. Sorry, I'm getting blur. Ancient wisdom and secret sex, SECTS, sex. I cannot pronounce that without it sounding like sex. So, sex. Anyway, hauntings, powers of healing, search for the soul, transformations, dreams and dreaming, witches and witchcraft, time and space, magical arts, utopian visions, secrets of the alchemists, eastern mysteries, earth energies, cosmic duality, mysterious lands and people, the mind and beyond, mystic quests, search for immortality, the mystical year, the psychics, alien encounters, discusses extraterrestrial encounters and possible abductions, the mysterious world, and the master index and illustrated symbols. That one I want. I am on a big symbology kick right now, and I cannot get enough of it. There was a book that I was contemplating, but it was $50, and it was a kind of a compendium. It wasn't this specific book, but it was a book to it. But here's where it gets fun. Here's where it's fun. Here's where it gets crazy for those who listen to that podcast. Time Life's Mysteries of the Unknown commercials would air during prime time through broadcast and cable television networks such as TNN, Nick at Night, MTV, VH1, and TNT. TNN used to be CNN. I think that's how it went. Anyway, the first commercial advertising Mysteries of the Unknown aired in September of 1987. The voiceover narration started with Chicago. A man is about to board a routine flight, and suddenly he pauses and walks away. An hour later, the plane goes down in flames. It's dismissed as chance. 1 and 2 minute versions of this commercial were aired. A second commercial aired in September of 1988. The voiceover narration began, "How can you explain it? A woman in Wisconsin is doing the dishes while suddenly she has a feeling that her daughter has just been in an accident. She gets a desperate phone call and finds out her feeling has just come true. How can you explain that various people around the world who have never met before had encounters with beings from outer space, and that their descriptions of the creature match almost exactly sketch art of a gray alien?" That's why Time Life Books presents a remarkable new series, Mysteries of the Unknown, which take a clear and comprehensive look at our own untapped capabilities. Maybe no one can explain these things, but they can no longer be ignored. How can you explain this? 4 men enter a ring of trees, and without warning, one is grabbed by an unseen force, lifted 5 feet in the air, and suspended for 30 seconds. In 1989, actress Julianne Moore appeared in Mysteries of the Unknown commercial explaining out-of-body experiences. The narration describes her waking up in the middle of the night with the feeling of something cold on her shoulder, only to find that she was affixed to the ceiling looking down at her own body from above. On New Year's Day of 1990, Time Life aired another commercial for Mysteries of the Unknown in conjunction with TV Guide. So there's that. So that leads me into this. So Time Life published a companion series called Collector's Library of the Unknown, and this was published from 1991 through 1993. So this came after these, and these are a little bit better. These are a little bit better quality books. They're heartier. The feel is better for these books. The feel is a whole lot better. And these books, I don't know. That died. Mosquito. Ugh. Um, so far, the total number I've been kind of finding is about 18 volumes. I don't know if that's a complete number or not. But yeah, this is what I've been able to find. Uh, oh, I did find a website. This is Kook Science.com. I'm sure this is something making fun of me because I like this stuff. But the Library of Curious and Unusual Facts is a series of 18 books originally published by Time Life through 1990 through 1993, covering the titles suggest curiosities in the sciences, society, and nature, though decidedly more controversial aspect when compared to topics covered in the earlier. So these are a little bit more controversial in nature. These are for like the serious collectors, from what I'm gathering, serious paranormal book collectors in these Time Life series books. So there's that. But I found one, two, three, four, five of these books. Five of these books, so that's 15 more or 13 more I need to find. But I need to make a list of what I have. But these, the ones that I have are Feats and Wisdom of the Ancients, Mysteries of the Human Body, Vanishing, Shadow, Death, Odd and Eccentric People. So I bumped my camera. So here we go. Here's this. Here's the cover again without the glare. Sages is the first topic that they go about. And this is better quality paper than the other two. Like, it's thicker. It's the shiny commercialized paper, but it's thicker. It feels better. But it's a lot of interesting information. I'm trying to find something like here. I'm sure if you watch Ancient Aliens, a lot of you will recognize the bird plane. This is a bird glider that was created by the ancients, and ancient alien theory states. And I do this because I do feel like ancient alien theory is, I don't want to say making fun, but dismissing the actual advantageous and actual inventions of the ancients, especially in a lot of pre-America, especially in pre-America and uh, the of India, like the ancients, are really dismissing a lot of human ingenuity when it comes to that by saying it was aliens. Sure, there could be causes of that, but I really think that they're not giving the ancients a lot of credit when they reference ancient alien theory. So I really don't like this. I'm not. I like the shows. Don't get me wrong. I like the shows, but I really feel like it's very dismissive of the ancients and what they were able to do, because a lot of the places on this side of the world in the Americas, like Tenochtitlan in Mexico, they had their own plumbing system, their own aqueducts. Like, these places were clean and prosperous, and the people coming over were looking for new places because, let's be real, indoor plumbing wasn't really a huge deal over in Europe at the time. Like, that was not a thing that was seen. And over here, there wasn't as many issues with like cholera and other diseases. So that's one of the reasons why I do not like how ancient alien theory kind of dismisses the the ingenuity of the ancients and the human spirit. So there's that. That's my whole spiel. But that back to the topic at hand. Um, Here's the bird. Here's one of the gliders that the ancient alien theorists kind of suggest is based on an airplane. Like, how did they have the idea of an airplane? Well, if you kind of look at certain birds, they kind of look like an airplane. But um, oh, the ancient battery that you've seen a couple times, where the person put acidic juice in the battery cavern and it was giving off some electric charge. That was pretty interesting. But with all the materials that were created, that they were able to use at the time. Um, so there's that. Engineering, like here's the uh, like here ancient engineering. Like if you see that, that is actually the base of one of Peruvian Inca um, engineering work, where they are so precise in how they build their stonework. You cannot put a knife, the blade of a knife, through these things because they're so precise. I'm sorry, I keep knocking my camera, my computer, but they're so that's how precise they are. So stuff like that. So this goes a little bit more in depth. Actually, as I'm flipping through it, there's a lot of things here that I'm pretty impressed that they have included. Like here's artists. So these things here, hold on. Again, camera. So here, these ancient cave paintings. Recently, there was a research study done by during COVID. Hold on, I just felt something crack. During COVID, a gentleman was looking at these art pieces. I believe it was during COVID, during the lockdowns. He was looking at these pictures because he was really fascinated by it. I mean, he started noticing crosshatches and dots on these things, and I don't see it on this one, but he started counting them and looking at them, and he started realizing that they're keeping time. So he reached out to a researcher within his area and told them what his findings were, that he thinks it's more cyclical in nature. These dots and hashes are seasonal. Like they're showing seasons and times during the season for these herds to run through, and they were able to confirm it, like as best as you confirm ancient cave paintings, but they were able to kind of confirm his theory. So I think that's pretty cool. Obviously, this isn't going to be included in that. That's actually really recent when that paper was done. And again, I work on a college campus, so I have a lot of I get to see a lot of these um, as we go through. Uh, there's the moai from Easter Island. Oh, they're always included in these things. The moai, sunstones. If you don't know what sunstones are, really watch Expedition Unknown with Josh Gates. Probably one of the few people who are new and have this platform I really do enjoy and like. Um, but he does an Expedition Unknown. He does a sunstone. I think that was the very first episode he did, but he did one on the sunstones and the Nordic tribe and the Nordic people and how they use the sunstone to navigate. So there's that. I will probably get kicked off if I show that because there's a lot of naked people. Um, I can't show that either. Sorry, there's a lot of Grecian mosaics and Aztec work. I'm just gonna keep. Oh, here we go. This one's titled "Goodbye Columbus," and it's showing cartographic discovery of the Norse and their maps of this side of the world. So, just kind of pointing out that Columbus discovering America, he wasn't the first person. There was thousands upon thousands of people who predated him coming to this side of the world. So there's that. I'm trying to see more naked people, even more naked people. I don't want to get kicked. Do not want to get kicked off this. Um, but That's pretty much it for this one, for Feats of Ancient History. Not really much to go on there. There's this one called Vanishings that I think it's pretty nifty, and it goes over like all the different vanishings of people. And um, I mean, look how they look. They're silver. The missing people are illustrated in silver. How nifty is that? Um, Here's Amelia Earhart. You can't have one without her. Speaking of, if you really want to read about one of the first aviatrixes in the United States, look at Bessie Smith. I think it's Bessie Smith. I think her name is Bessie Smith. Now I'm questioning whether or not, but her first name is Bessie. Um, but yeah, like, this is neat. See the person here? He's silver. How cool is that? But yeah, so this is the compendium of these. And the fun thing about these books is that there was a Time Life board game made for these. So now I have to go out of my way and find this board game and play it. Like I actually, because of my dad and because he had this the Nat Geo subscription, we do have a couple National Geographic geography board games that I have, and they're here at the house because I thought they were super cool. From the 70s, my dad has had a National Geographic subscription since the late 70s, and he still has them. They are at my house in boxes. He loves his National Geographic, and all the books are there. I don't know if they're still doing these fun commemorative books. If they are, I wish they would do them, but it is what it is. But that's it for Time Life. But Time Life and Nat Geo weren't the only ones who were doing these books. Because of the success Time Life had with this version of these books, Reader's Digest even had their own. So when I was at the second half price books, I found these two. So I went and got them. Here's a UFO continuing enigma. This is what the inside leaf looks like. Nothing too crazy there. Hi, little alien. How you doing? So, but yeah, there's that. There's a forward. The table of contents are actually pretty neat. Look at that. Isn't that neat? That's pretty neat. So, but these are a little bit more interesting art pieces. Like, this is something I'd probably whip up on my DeviantArt, if I'm being honest. When were these published? I did not look these up because I wanted to focus more on Time Life. Let's see. Copyright 1991. So yes, these were in response to the mysterious universe and all that stuff, how they were being made, and little timeline of UFOs through the ages. Um, let's see. Oh, here's this one. Um, this picture here is from the Mahabharata, where they talk about these flying vehicles, like you'll see it. Whoops, you'll see it right here. These flying vehicles that were burning down cities, and the descriptions of these vehicles when the cities were disrupted, the survivors had very similar symptoms to that of nuclear poisoning or radiation poisoning. I'm sorry, nuclear poisoning. Come on, Melinda. Come on, Oracle. Radiation poisoning, and that was also in Ancient Aliens. That was also something in Ancient Aliens. So I thought that was pretty neat that they included that. And then here's the Saucer Age, comic books, Heroes from Outer Space. How quickly will Marvel shut me down for this one? Or Disney, not Marvel. Let's see. Elves and aliens, the theories that elves and aliens and the Fae are one and the same. Uh, let's see. I'm just kind of flipping through. Here's the crop circles. Hoaxes and fakes, physical fakes. You can actually tell that they're fake. They even give you kind of a little how to conduct your own UFO investigation. So I think that's pretty nifty. Um, Inside spacecraft, contacts, third kind, close encounters of the third kind. Um, they do not have Betty and Barney Hill in here. George Adamski's mentioned. I do not see Betty and Barney Hill. I could be missing them. I'm going to take a look at the index real quick. Comma, Hill. Betty and Barney, page 33, 36, 75. So they're on page 75. Okay, so they are mentioned in here, and those on this page that I was looking at. Abduction, Men in Black, MJ12. This book smells so good. That ancient, that old timey paper smell. It smells good. Intoxicating. But that's it. That's pretty much what this book is. So it's just nice, fancy artwork. Both have the same insignia on the back. So just kind of give you pictures. But that leads me into my last thing. So because of all this, and at the third half price books, I had already gone almost $150 deep into these books. Yes, I am saying how much I spent on these because that's how cool they are. But because I still had some money left for my tax return, I ended up getting this map in black. And this is a mysterious map of North America. And this thing shows you hauntings, strange creatures, UFO aliens, sacred geography, ancient American sites, plus unexplained mysteries, extreme locations, military bases, craters, spiritual sites, and hundreds of other points of interest. And it's a map of all these places. So I'm just going to pull up the eastern side of this map. And look, you can see all these places that you can go visit. And I was looking at the map while I was in half price books waiting on my boyfriend finish, and I could see that where we used to live in this area, farther up I-45, used to be a hotspot for Bigfoot. So there's that. And that's also near where someone had a close encounter of the second kind. So, and that was actually featured on Unsolved Mysteries of all things. So, but it reads just like a map. The key. Here's the legend for the different types of places in the map. Here's kind of a little snapshot in the New Mexico area. So just to give you an idea of how this works. So I'm going to put this in my car. So when we travel, I have it readily available, and it's nice. It's map paper, so it won't get wet. That's what I like about this. But that's pretty much it. I wanted to share this really amazing find I had with everybody. Pretty nifty stuff. Pretty nifty things. I think they're nifty. So, but this is stuff from my childhood. This is stuff that I remember watching these silly commercials on. This is stuff that I thoroughly enjoy. Like, I'm sorry, I'm so happy. Like, I'm just really happy by it all. But yeah, this is just a really great find from Half Price Books, and I'm very happy to find them. Like, but I don't know what else to say. I would show the Time Life Mystery commercial, but I don't want to get my stream canceled. So, but that's pretty much it. Thank you for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed what you've seen. Leave a comment, what have you. But thanks for watching. Bye.